name's Phoebe and I'm part of the STEM response team here at the University of Wolverhampton. In this session, we're going to be looking at Basic Algebra as part of our maths series. So indices are powers. For the value of 4 cubed, 4 is the base and 3 is the index, with the plural of index being indices. To multiply numbers with indices, all you need to do is add 2 indices together. To divide them, just subtract the 2 indices from each other. If you want to take a look at any examples in this presentation, just give it a pause and you can have a look. There are rules for x0 and x1. So if x to the power of 0 always equals 1 for any value of x, and x to the power of 1 is x for any value of x. So have a look at the example underneath. To raise a power, just multiply them. The bases must both be made the same before simplifying to get the final answer. So negative indices are expressed as 1 over the positive power. It's done as below. And if a number has a fractional index, this means the root of, and the example is just under that as well. So here are some more examples of negative indices and some fractional indices. So when you're expanding double brackets, use FOIL. Multiply the first term, then the outside terms, the inside terms, and finally the last terms. Write squared brackets out as double brackets and then follow FOIL again. And there's the example below. When expanding triple brackets, follow the FOIL method as per the previous slide, but then multiply it by the final set of brackets, and you'll probably have more than one term in your final answer. Brackets can have more than 2 terms inside of them, so as before, just multiply every term in the first set of brackets by every term in the second set. Factorising is known as the process of finding common factors that are inside each term of an expression. So all you've got to do is spot the common factors in each term, place these at the front of the new expression, and then place the rest of it into brackets. So once you've finished, make sure there aren't any more parts that could be factorised. So you can just take a look at that there. An expression of the form of a squared minus b squared is called a difference of 2 squares. It's factorised very easily, and there's the example below. And if the number isn't a square, it can be written as a square root squared. Surds are irrational numbers that are written as roots. There are 4 rules for surds, and those are shown underneath. Surds in the denominator should be rationalised or gotten rid of. To do this, all you've got to do is multiply the top and the bottom of the fraction by an expression that will give you the rational number in the denominator. And there's an example there. There are different methods for rationalising a complicated denominator. You multiply the top and the bottom in the same way as you did before, but then you multiply them by the denominator with the opposite sign in front of your surd. And there's your example just there. So now solving equations. Simply use this 6-step method to solve equations. Remove any fractions by multiplying the denominators, multiply any brackets, collect all of the x terms on one side and all the numbers on the other. By combining the like terms, you can reduce it to ax equals b. Divide both sides by a to give x equals, and then if you get x squared instead, square root both sides to give x equals your final answer. Here's some examples. So for rearranging formulas, the subject of the formula is the letter on its own. Sometimes you're going to be asked to rearrange a formula to make a different letter the subject. So use this simple guide. So number 1, square root both sides to get rid of any square roots. Number 2, multiply by the denominators to get rid of fractions. Number 3, multiply out any brackets. Number 4, collect all of the subject terms together on one side and all of the non-subject terms on the other. By combining terms, reduce it to ax equals b. You may have to factorise this. Divide both sides to give by a to give x equals. And finally, if you have x squared, square root both sides to get x equals your final answer. Thank you so much for joining me in this session today. If you have any questions, please check out our social media. Also take a look at the STEM Response Team website to find even more fantastic science learning resources. Bye.